Lions. As a member of the NAI and the Appalachian Athletic Conference, we're committed to the true spirit of competition, embracing 5 core values: respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask that each of you abide by these values to help create a positive and competitive environment. Please enjoy tonight's contest. Now, please rise for a word of prayer. Dear God, thank you for this opportunity tonight to play the game of soccer. We ask for safety for the athletes as they play and for everyone as they travel home tonight. May we honor you in all that we say and do, and it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And now for our starting lineups. First, for the visiting Union Commonwealth. Number 2, Owen Lewis. Number 3, Tyler Wheatcroft. Number 4, Diogo Costa. Number 6, Felix Stoffler. Number 7, Callum Edwards. Number 9, Issa Bramble. Number 10, BL Valverde. Number 16, Oreo Gasquez Perez. Number 18, Charlie Markland. Number 22, Alex Benitez. And number 30, Daniel Harrison. And now it's time for your Bryan College Lions. Number 1, Jack Smith. Number 3, Mattia Marini. Number 4, Levi Miller. Number 5, Alex Fletcher Clifford. Number 7, Johnny Kim. Number 8, James Mitchell. Number 9, Beckham Davidson. Number 10, Cesar Castro. Number 11, David Gomez. Number 17, Joshua Hernandez. And number 22, Owen Morales.
Welcome back to a much-anticipated matchup here between Union Commonwealth and your Bryan Lions as we were going to get started as that ball's pushed forward and Mattia is able to win the header. We got action early, and as promised, with me tonight, this is Josh Muncie. Drew is not with us tonight for this men's game. We have brought in the heavy hitter, assistant baseball coach, Director of Internal Relations of the Athletic Department, Jordan Day. Welcome, as we call it, because it is soccer. Welcome to the gantry here, Jordan. Welcome.
Hey, I'm pumped to be here, Josh. I appreciate it, man. I've been keeping up with you guys as last couple games where we were out of town, so I'm pumped to be here and pumped to be on the gantry, man. Pumped to get to do this
great little
for the first
backfield
time.
from Johnny. Sorry to cut you off there. So just to kind of throw this out there for the fans at home, both Jordan and myself, avid English soccer fans. Both of us kind of similar story, played a lot of FIFA in our days, and that's what kind of has drawn us into soccer here. Real quickly, we'll go through the starting lineups here. We'll start with Union Commonwealth. We have Owen Lewis, Tyler Wheatcroft, Diego Costa, Felix Stoffler, Callum Edwards, Issa Bramble, Biel Valverdo, Oriol Gasquez Perez, Charlie Marklin, Alex Benitez, and Daniel Harrison for the Union Commonwealth.
Absolutely, Josh. And I did some homework here prior to the game, and I noticed that Bramble and Edwards, who seem to be the furthest up the pitch here for Union, definitely have the numbers attacking-wise. I know
Yes.
Callum Edwards is a back-to-back player of the week in the AAC a couple weeks ago and has had an unreal start to the year statistically. So I think he's probably somebody that Coach Davidson and the Lions will try to neutralize early, maybe keep him off the ball and try to probably keep the ball a lot more than we're going to have it in the past. I think with the way they've started, I think we're going to be a little possession-oriented, which will be good for us. But it started quick, man. It's been a good start to this game.
Yeah. Beckham Davidson loses the ball there as they look to play. Right there as you see him try to get Bramble on the ball there from Trinidad and Tobago. And like I mentioned in the women's broadcast, that Trinidad and Tobago brings up haunting memories for us U.S. men's national team fans, as a couple years ago our World Cup hopes were dashed there. I still remember the vision of Pulisic kind of falling, hands, face in his hands on that night in Trinidad and Tobago as they got a nice little long throw in. And they're going to volley that over the goal for a goal kick, it looks like.
One thing I've seen, Josh, from watching the broadcast with you guys, is it's been awesome to watch Jack Smith this year, man.
Oh,
Coming up someone absolutely with some clutch saves. I know in the Wesleyan game alone had a couple where he dove full extension tip balls over the bar. He's really, in the past, has been a guy that's had to kind of split some time, and he seems to really have made that position his this year and really owning it. The communication, which is cool, from up here we can hear everything. To see him kind of direct the back line and what he's done just for the defense in general. I know Coach Davidson's been pumped with how we have started the year defensively.
Is Cesar going to get on this ball? He's not. Good hustle there. He's going to keep the pressure up. And Beckham Davidson, little switch up here. Normally, Beckham kind of plays the right winger role, and Owen Morales has been the right back. It looks like they're kind of flip-flopped here. And I think that goes to what you're talking about there with the strong forwards that Union Commonwealth have. Just trying to, Beckham is the epitome of a coach's son. Me and Jordan are both coaches. We understand kind of that mentality of a coach's son, always being in the right place at the right time. That is Beckham. So.
Yeah, I feel both of those roles. My dad was a high school baseball and football coach for 30 years, so I feel a little bit of that as well.
Yeah.
Having that tab growing up, being the guy that needs to know where you need to be and where to be.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a leader on the field, which is something that he's definitely grown into, and it's been awesome to see. But his work rate and his pace up that right side on some counterattacks, I think, could really give Union Commonwealth a lot of trouble. Just seeing him, because his past, he's been a guy that played up top in the past, scored a lot of goals, so he really has a good feel for the game.
And just as we talk about him, he wins the header there that Mattia is able to clear out. Good little student section over there. Always good to see the students out here supporting each other here at Bryan.
Well, with a 71 and clear night here,
no reason not to be here.
Absolutely, the weather's great. Two of the top teams in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, so it's going to be a night of really good soccer here. I'm excited to see it as we see the pressure there from the Lions. That's great defense. Ooh, a little bit of a weak whistle there. I think that was weak, especially after we let the play carry on up here towards right in front of the bench. I know Coach Davidson's probably not happy with that one.
No. Mattia, I believe, was the one who committed the foul. So pretty similar to a corner kick here. We'll see how Union Commonwealth brings it in, as it looks like BL is going to take this. It's going to be an outswinger from the right-footed. I believe he's a midfielder. As it's a good ball to the back post, not able to find a Union. Well, it did find a Union Commonwealth head, but not able to get it on target, as we're going to have a goal kick here for Jack Smith. Back to Jack. I ran into him, actually, after the Wesleyan game and made sure I told him, hey, those were a couple great saves he had. That was a great game. Hopefully we have another good one here tonight.
I think we will. Just with the Union Commonwealth has been historically a very good team in our conference, and I know, Josh, you spoke a little bit on air. I've been here now at Bryan as a student and as a coach now for 16 years. It's my 16th year here, and so Coach Shaw from Union, Jonathan Shaw, he's a guy from England, but he played here when I was a student. He was the keeper for the Bulldogs and has been there, I believe, for 13 total years now.
Yeah.
He's been the head coach since 2017. You can see the very international heavy with their roster, so you can tell he's probably got a lot of contacts across the pond out there, and has brought a lot of those to Kentucky here for Union.
Yeah.
And you've seen they've been very competitive in this league for as long as I can remember. So it's going to be interesting to see. You got two guys that have been at their programs for a long time that know this league well, and I think that's why we see the success that we've seen so far this year with both teams. Is Coach Davidson's been around a long time, Coach Shaw's been around a long time, so it's going to be good to see how they go at it here tactically, if they make any changes, and it started wide open. So we're in for a heck of a game tonight.
Yeah, if the first 8 minutes of this game is any indication of what this game is going to be, we're in for a treat. But also it is going to be hard for me and you to wrangle in what is going on.
Oh, Rabona flick.
Cesar not able to get on the end of it for a goal kick. Love the flare, love the flashy.
You spoke about FIFA. That was a little holding of the left trigger there for a little bit of a flare to that back post.
Yep.
I tell you what's going to happen is, with us being 8 minutes in, is we're going to get Drew to restock on the Cokes up here, man.
Yeah.
We're going to be parched, Drew. If you're out there listening, you're going to have to keep running them up here to the gantry.
Yes.
We're going to get our first look here at the keeper on Daniel Harrison, freshman from Newcastle. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays, because they have been really good so far this year, and the defense on their end has been great. He started, I believe, 7 of their 10 games.
Yeah.
So they may have had a little bit of a position battle there early, but it seems to be he's kind of become the number one. And as a freshman, that's a big deal with a team as experienced as Union.
Yeah. And a lot of times when your coach was a goalkeeper, I mean, you can look at him. I haven't met him, but if you said, hey, what position did he play? I would say goalkeeper. He looks the part, big guy. So he kind of takes pride in his goalkeepers, I would assume. As we see another ball played here by Jack Smith. Really getting some good distance on these.
Well, we don't have a lot of wind. Like it is 71 degrees, but it's not. It's clear. There's no wind. We're not dealing with anything I know like you guys dealt with in the past couple of weeks with the hurricane weather and the rain up here. So should be a clean played game from a weather perspective.
Yeah.
I think the pitch will play pretty quick tonight. And with homecoming this weekend, we got a couple big games coming up.
Yes.
But I know, and you had spoke to Coach Davidson, that it seems like Union has definitely got the tougher of the two schedules. As these two teams are in first and third, respectively, in the league. I think a point separates us.
So we're going to get a foul there. It's kind of a clashing of feet. Both guys hurt. I believe the foul will go against us.
Coach Shaw, if you can hear him, definitely appealing for the yellow there.
Yeah.
Which it looked like to be unintentional. I think it was just him going for the clearance, and he happened to kind of clash their legs together there. It seems to be what the official thinks as well. He's just giving a talking to both guys.
Just kind of tell him, hey, be calm, be easy. I believe that's Morales.
You're correct.
No.
This is why I told you I needed my glasses.
It was Owen. It was Owen. These red jerseys with the black numbers, it's kind of hard to see the numbers. I don't know if you're struggling like I am. Luckily, it's for us, so we know most of our guys. Great ball in. Jack Smith able to get his hands on it.
And just in years past, I'm telling you, Jack, seeing him this year, just the ability to command the area, the ability for him to come out vocally and claim that ball there. As we get a
diagonal ball.
Absolutely.
Ooh, another clashing of feet. Referee tells him get up. One thing that I've been impressed with, Jordan, is the center back pairing for us, Levi and Alex. They're solid back there. It's not very often you see a sophomore and a freshman kind of being the rock of your defense, but both of them are. Cesar kind of getting a little bit of star treatment there. You see the You know, the Union team, when he gets on the ball, I think they're going to try to suffocate him and get it off of his foot. Beckham, nice little play with the chip with the left foot.
You can definitely tell, like you said, there's a handball there.
I thought there was a handball.
It may have been through the back of the player. I don't know that he had a great angle there, the official. But back to what you said about our center back pairing, I think Fletcher Clifford coming in, transferring from Point, which used to be in our conference, was a solid squad. He has come in and really shored up the back. And to be, you know, I think it lists him at 6'3". He has unreal pace, very quick. Has done a great job just on those when a team like Union, who I think is going to probably try to play direct into Bramble up top here, having that pace and that size at a center back is a key for us to be able to kind of negate those long balls, make them play maybe a little more through the central of the park, which I think for the Lions has been great with James Mitchell and Josh Hernandez.
Johnny Kim really securing kind of behind those guys in front of the two center backs. One thing, too, they are both great clearers of the ball.
That's a good block there.
Yeah, right on cue. You love it when you talk good about someone and they do something good. Normally you get the commentator's curse. Oh, good play off the chest there from Johnny. He's going to push this up. James lets it roll, loses possession.
And Mattia coming through, man, he has been a huge deal too. Man, this defense has just been revamped. And, you know, I know we spoke on it, or you and Drew have spoke on it, but after the start the Lions got, it was a little shaky early, but they went out and Coach Davidson put us up against some of the best teams in the country, and we were exposed a little bit early, but to see how our guys have battled back and what they've done in the league since we've got in the Appalachian Athletic Conference to be undefeated. You played a tough game against Milligan, who lost the national title last year. We've just done such a good job, and for our guys to buy in, it shows you how good a job Coach Davidson's done. As you see Sace with a great turn as he tries to get a little – that's got to be a card.
That's got to be a
there.
card. That's
Absolutely.
a tactical foul.
Absolutely. What a touch there to release himself to the outside, Josh. Just Sace has been unreal. But back to what I was saying of
we got two yellows there.
Some dissent. Was that second one to 16? I believe it was. That will be Gasquez Perez. And he's still putting up a little bit of some chatter there as the official told him to back off. I didn't catch who the first card was on, Josh. But
I believe it was number 4, Diego Costa, the captain. So.
Sure. I mean, there's always a first time for everything. I've been repping for 20 years. I've actually done a lot of soccer, so.
But just back before we keep they cut me off again, the ability for our guys to buy into something, man, and you've seen such a turnaround. And you know it in coaching that a solid start is such a big deal because it builds some belief. And our guys didn't have that early, but to see what they've done to turn this around, man, has been awesome. And I think we're going to continue to build on that. A win tonight would be really big at putting the Lions at the top of the league. And I think that would be such a big deal for us going forward with a decently favorable schedule down the stretch compared to the other teams at the top of the league, as we see Fletcher Clifford with a little bit of a fluffed clearance there.
Oh, James Mitchell right there. He's such a good number 10, James Mitchell. I know he wears number 8, but he just he knows when to track back. He knows when to get forward. Always seems to have his nose around the ball as Owen Morales chests that, looking to play Sace forward. Sace is going to kind of continue the pressure to force a long ball here. Now let's see if we can get our head on it.
It definitely seems like Sace has been instructed from Coach Davidson, I think, to kind of initiate that press. If you see when the ball's played back to Harrison a couple times, what they've done is Sace kind of starts that pressure, and you get both your wingers to step up, and then they're having to really play some long balls to the middle of the pitch where it seems to be we're the better of the two teams in the middle.
Yeah, good touch by Sace and a turn. As we get another foul. Not sure about that one. That one looked more of a slip, but hey, we'll take it.
Played quickly. Ooh, James trying to make a run in behind there, James Mitchell. And what you were saying for him, wearing number 8, as a Liverpool fan myself, Steven Gerrard.
Yes.
Best
kind of has the look of it, too,
history.
with the little hair. Well, I think Kevin Bryan will have something to say about that before it's all said and done. So just for the fans at home, me and Jordan both, I'm a Manchester City guy. He is a Liverpool guy. We definitely like to go back and forth. So It'll be interesting to see if we start any trash talking here. We won't bring up the fantasy league that we're in. We won't bring that up.
We'll keep that off the airways for now. We'll see. I'm going to have to start it out hot. I had one really good week, and then we've kind of dropped down.
Yeah, I will have to update the fans. I have been overtaken in first place. I know that's all you guys want to hear about is our fantasy league, but Coach Tom has taken me over as we see a series of headers. I think we had 4 headers in a row right there. Kind of a pinball matchup right now.
Oh, a good interception there.
Yeah, BL is kind of taking that. You don't see Mattia get taken off the ball very often. He's able to take it right back, work his way up, gets a little kick in the back there.
Good sportsmanship there between the two to see Valverde and Marini just go at it. It's going to be an interesting matchup as you see that Edwards had started the game, number 7 there for Union, a little more on the right side.
Yeah.
Now it looks like they've kind of kicked him back into that number 10 position where he's going to play centrally. I wonder if that means they're going to switch up what they're trying to do here with the maybe playing through the middle of the park a little more, which we know they're kind of direct in how they play, and I think Bramble's pace up top is really the reason they do that.
It looks like they're going to kind of run a double pivot there in the middle, 2 number 6s that are going to kind of try to control the game in the middle of the park. And I think, like you said, that's part of the reason why Sace has been super aggressive, trying to not let them just play the ball to one of their defenders and then get it to their number 6s, really force that action and let our big, tall center backs make some plays as that ball goes out for a Union throw-in. As Benitez is going to come up to take it, the Spaniard.
It'll be interesting, Josh, to see if we can keep the pace that this game's been played at. We're 17 minutes in. You see Union taking a little time on the throw in there. So they playing a good ball.
That's got to be a foul right there.
Defenseless player there. We've got to have something.
Yeah, he calls the foul. You know, keepers kind of get, we equate it to quarterbacks in football. They kind of get a little bit of special treatment sometimes, really protected. As it should be, they do a lot of times find themselves in vulnerable positions. So it's fully understandable as he's going to play this ball out to Mattia. Another good defensive play there by BL. That's going to be a good matchup just from the start. Mattia and BL, as Mattia able to take that one.
We got Sammy out here on the left. Josh elects to play it back to Sace in the middle, who plays a diagonal ball. I think
that was Owen.
Owen had just kind of peeled his run back.
Yeah.
So, it was
he
a little bit off time.
He wasn't anticipating the ball, and then the ball was played. He wasn't able to quite get back to full speed, and the keeper quick off his line there.
Harrison with a good kick there. And they do seem to be going at Edwards. I don't know if he's going to try to play the ball, just kind of flick a header, glance a header back to Bramble. It looks like Bramble's trying to time some runs up off those goal kicks. They're definitely going a little more through the middle, which is interesting to see. But that has set up that matchup between BL and Mattia here on the right wing, which, like we've seen so far, a couple really good duels one-on-one, those guys going together is going to be an interesting matchup as we continue to go throughout the game. But what I was saying earlier was with the pace that is played at, I wonder if we'll start to see the coach's decisions there for subs as we may get a stop. Oh, I thought maybe with the ball hitting the guy in the head. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to stop it.
But
always got to protect the players with the headshot. It's really been a point of emphasis in all of sports.
Absolutely,
and we get to see 5 or 6, 7 years.
Shout out to our trainers, athletic trainers, Levi Moffitt out there on the scene, does a heck of a job for us. But back to, I wonder if it will make the substitutions will play a key role. If this is the pace in which the game's played out, I know in the men's game we see a little bit less substitutions than we do in the game earlier with the ladies, but I think that we may see a couple key substitutions, and I think that's based on these two coaches, these veteran coaches, to see who they think after watching maybe this first half or the last 5-10 minutes of the first half, who they're going to kind of play that chess match with each other to see what they can do, because with two teams of this quality, it seems like we're really going to have it's going to probably be a one goal game either way.
See Callum having to come off the pitch here for a second after the play being stopped. Going to get checked for a concussion. And he's being allowed back on the pitch.
You got a ball there into the box. We have done a great job with those balls. They have pinged some balls into the box, and it seems to a line head is meeting most of those. They're winning a lot of duels. It looks like we get a foul there on Union. I believe that was on Bramble.
Yeah, he kind of went through the back there of not sure who that was. Can't see the number yet. As it looks like that was Hernandez there. Good header there from Johnny.
He lays it off there.
Ooh, Sace with the foul there. Quick play, and the ref's not going to allow that.
A little too quick there. I don't think he ever stopped the progression of the ball.
Also, it was a little bit ahead of where the foul was called. So something interesting, you know, we have the same 3 refs. Something that was kind of a hot point, Jordan. I know you had did y'all have a scrimmage or inter-squad today, something?
We did.
So the 10-yard rule of the wall was a very hotly contested thing in the women's game.
Something that may be a side point here is we saw a couple minutes ago, Callum Edwards took that ball where he got hit in the face, and they stopped the play where he stepped off and was checked out by trainer Levi Moffitt. There was just a little bit of some gamesmanship back and forth, jawing coming off. Nothing crazy, just a couple comments. And I wonder if you see there him trying to take it quickly, and you can hear Coach Shaw here saying, hey, slow it down to calm down. Maybe we could see maybe that playing in to it being, I think, a heated game just in the terms of, not that there's anything personal here, but it's 2 teams that have been so good this year that are at the top of the league. Everybody knows what's at stake tonight.
Yeah.
This is a 6-pointer, as they say. If you talk about winning this ball game and being able to really take a jump to where it would probably be hard for the loser of this game to overtake the winner down the stretch with how far we are into the season, as we see a ball cleared with Mattia playing a ball in there to Josh, and he's got some room. He's going to play it wide here to James. Oh, that would have been a great first-time ball, but it's right back to Josh, and we've got some runners down the wing, but a little heavy touch, and they're going to –
yeah, Josh is going to get a card here. So that's just something to watch, a couple early yellows. Just got to make sure we don't get in a situation where we go down a man. Really, that's for both teams. You know, early yellows are never good in soccer.
See if we get another direct ball. They've seemed to either play this wide and then play a deep ball in the box. And it looks like, that's kind of what we're getting, that diagonal ball to the backside. And Beckham Davidson, again, he's gonna set a school record for clearances with his head to start this.
Oh, ooh. Trying to play James free on that diagonal ball.
Really good job by Diogo Costa there to get across and just to make sure, because we've seen what James Mitchell can do a couple weeks against Wesleyan on what looked to be a clearance from Josh Hernandez that played him on his foot, and he's able to latch onto those long balls, and he is lethal in front of the net. He really does probably everything you want a captain to do, Josh. He leads from the front. His communication is unreal. His ability to run.
Yes.
It makes me tired. As an old retired guy up here that played baseball where you don't have to be in that good a shape. And I know I may offend some of the baseball fans out there. But
hey, we've all seen the pictures of Babe Ruth.
Absolutely.
So.
And to see Josh, man, he puts in a full shift every time out. And I think, it inspires the lines, because you see a guy leading from the front like that. It's a lot easier.
Oh, here we go. Step. This could be a good step in between there.
I don't know what we got right there. That is a tough call on Sammy. It seemed to maybe they say he hooked him on the turn with his arm, but goodness gracious, man, that really hurt us there. That we were probably a 3-on-3.
As a basketball coach, I thought that was a solid box out.
Absolutely.
I did not see but something I tell my guys, it's a little different. I guess baseball, you got balls and strikes. It's very kind of subjective. Well, I always tell my players, they ask me, hey, was that a foul? I said, well, the ref called it a foul, so it was. So
you got to get used to the reality that, you know, there's the human element in games. And that's honestly what makes it, to me, you know, an interesting is you never know what you're going to get any time out.
Yep.
And you have to be able to have some emotional intelligence as players to understand, hey, how is this guy calling this game? Is he going to be more prone to a yellow card? Is he going to be less prone to that? And then you can kind of set your tone, set your aggression based on the way that he's calling the game, which he seemed to leave it pretty open early, but you do have to in a game like this.
as we're going to get another foul here right at the top of the box, about 22 yards, it looks like, just on top of the circle on the top of the box here. But, yeah, we saw that in the women's game as well. A lot of time wasting from Union, up 2-0. They were down a person, and they used kind of that time wasting to their advantage. The ref never did anything about it. And so if they're not going to do anything about it, you got to keep doing it. And so just to your point there, you know, you got to get a feel for how they're going to call the game, what's going to be their crucial points of emphasis is here. As it looks like
It's Valverde. It looks like BL Valverde over the ball.
yeah. So we got a nice little wall here.
This could be the first big test of the match for Jack Smith. We haven't had to see any goalie do too much besides distribution here.
Oh, good wall block there. That ball is going to.
I think he's called that. Yeah, bounced. It must have made contact with a bulldog because it's bounced over the top, and it looks like
Yep.
Jack's going to retrieve that for a goal kick.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see there kind of the offensive team kind of stand next to the wall just to block the goalie's vision to not being able to see it.
It's a good ball played into the middle, met by Union there. Mattia looks like him and Callum may have had a little coming together off the ball on that header, and then there
Yeah.
was something after the clearance, but we'll keep an eye on that as the ball's played in and cleared by Union, but only as far as Josh Hernandez. And Johnny's played a ball in, James Mitchell on it. As we played a ball through, really good job by Harrison to come there. As we've, you know, I want to say I may have called that Callum Edwards may be in the middle of a little bit of extracurricular here tonight, which you've seen a couple times. We've kind of kept keeping our eyes on that one. Mattia as well, just with, I think, the reputation Mattia has for his first time in the league is people know he is one of the best players on our team, I think, in the way that he's played, the way he can attack up this this left wing here. So it'll be interesting to see as we get a ball flipped up to Bramble from Edwards as they play it to Valverde down the wing. We've got good defense from who else? Mattia Marini.
Oh, good job to get a throw in there and not a corner.
Josh, seems like both teams are starting to settle into the game a little more. It's a little bit more free-flowing than it was, and it looks like we're going to get our first sub potentially down here in front of the gantry. It will be number 12, Callum Longworth.
So we got two Callums.
We will see who he checks in for. I'm assuming they will do that after the throw. Is that Bramble on the throw, Josh? It's kind of
no,
it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, one of their. Well, no, that was Tyler Wheatcroft, another Liverpool native.
And just checking in here with number 12, Callum Longworth, also a Liverpool native. So we are well represented now. It could be Everton, which would, be a pretty rough life choice out of these guys. But we'll just hope for the best that they're Reds.
Really been not a big possession swing here. It just seems like this ball has been going back and forth. Neither team has really controlled it for a long period of time. So it'll be interesting to see. We are already at 17 minutes left in this first half, and it has not slowed down one bit. As Mattia is going to make this throw in, he's going to find a Union head, and he's going to try again.
Yeah, Owen Lewis, good job right there, being aggressive and just beating us to the ball in the air. You see Sace getting really doubled. What a touch.
Oh, and another good touch by Sace.
That was a good job by Stoeffler after getting the ball flicked over his head.
Yeah,
to really get
recovering.
back in and recover. Yeah, it was, it's easy to drop your head in that moment after you double team a guy. And Sace, man, his feet are so quick.
Yes.
It's been awesome to see. I know if you've paid attention to the lines in the past, he had a unreal overhead kick last year that was worthy of a Sports Center top 10, as we do see here that
Looks like Charlie Markland is going to come off here.
Longworth for Markland. I'll make a note of that.
And it looks like Longworth is going to go up to the top. No, I don't know if this is just for, he's kind of taking a position up here on this right side.
Which is where Valverde had kind of been. It looks like maybe they're going to swing Valverde to the left wing.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looks like here. We'll kind of try to monitor that as we go.
Well, they say when you check in baseball, the ball will find you, and the ball's right to Longworth there on this wing, and he was not able to do anything with it. Maybe interesting to see that with them flipping the wings there, Valverde looks like he can kind of play all across the pitch. Maybe we see that Longworth maybe he's left-footed. Maybe they want him cutting in on that left foot. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that plays if it changes their style with their first sub. Definitely with a guy coming in a game like this, the first guy off the bench, you're going to look for it to be a big, a big change and impact. That's right.
And for us, it's AJ. He normally comes in, kind of gives Sace a break up there at the top of the pitch. That's kind of our guy that we normally bring in. Bryan able to win another throw in here.
Great job by Fletcher Clifford there to come across and win that ball when it looked like he may just get it out, clear his lines, and let the lines regroup at the back. But to win that is a really, really good job there to come across, especially with him being a center half, to come across and play on the wing there. It shows his versatility and his athleticism, Josh. He is.
Yes.
I just can't be more impressed with the way he is as they play a ball through to Bramble, and you get to see his pace a bit, but he's not able to keep that ball from going out to a Jack Smith goal kick.
As we got Danya coming in here for Johnny, that's kind of a like-for-like swap. Danya, he plays that kind of holding role as well.
One thing I admire and love about Danya, very, very, very aggressive player.
Yes.
In the middle of the pitch, man, he is in there. He is not shying away from contact. He gets his head to a lot of balls as we see it on cue, him kind of out-jump there.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot.
Owen Lewis has won a couple
Beckham
really
Davidson
contested
thrown
balls.
off the ball there.
Little outside boot. Ooh, that was a really good ball with some pace in there to the front. You saw Callum Edwards in on the mix. And another really, really good job there by the Lions defense to be able to clear that. And we'll see what James Mitchell can do.
Let's see if Sace release Sace here.
He's got a guy. There he goes. He plays it wide. Maybe we get a back post runner here, and we'll see what Sace has got. Got a little contact, but nothing too big. Whoa, good 1-2 with Sace. And Josh Hernandez. Oh, good job. Oh, and our first true real shot on target there. And a good job all around. The Lions 1-2 play between Hernandez and Sace there was just immaculate with them kind of feeling each other off the ball. Good to see the timing of that play. It's so easy to run offside there for one guy to hold it too long, but to see them link up there on a 1-2 and then for Josh Hernandez to get a pretty good head to that ball and then put it to the corner. Our angle was a good one to see if Harrison doesn't get to that ball's going to find the side net. So just a good job by the Lions, and we've seen a couple shots now each team that starting to put some more balls on frame and see if we can get the game's first goal as it's really opened up with 12 minutes. We got 12 minutes left till halftime. I think with these subs, you'll see a little injection of energy back into this game.
Danya able to win that ball back. Mattia picks his head up, looking to find the diagonal ball there. And we're going to get an offsides flag here. But I tell you, we got to be careful. Bramble has some pace to him, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Well, you saw that that diagonal ball, I think Beckham had overlapped a little bit, maybe to latch on to a flicked ball down. And what happened there with that, it was Levi Miller was going to be up top one-on-one there. on that wing and with no outside back help. So that would have been interesting to see if that ball is onside, what happens. But good job by the Lions defense to kind of be on the same page there with making sure they held their line. And that just, like you said, this center back pairing of Fletcher, Clifford, Miller has been so good, man. They're on the same page pretty consistently as we see a ball cleared. A little bit of a scuffed clearance there off that kick.
Oh, good touch by Mattia. I thought he was just going to clear it, and he's able to bring it down and start the attack here for the Lions. Danya brings himself out wide, but they go back the other way. Errant pass. Bramble's able to get on it.
Callum Edwards, this is our guy that they said he's cut in. Really good job by the Lions to step in front. It looked like he was preparing for a shot, Josh.
Yeah, I think
I'm interested to see with a guy with his goal-scoring prowess and what he's done, I'm sure he is very adept with both feet, which makes him probably very hard to defend because he can use both, and you see him cutting in there. It looked like to be off his left foot.
Yeah, I think he was definitely going to take a shot there. A lot of aerial battles in this game so far.
There's Sace again initiating that press. Really good job. Almost gets a piece of that ball. But what we do get, and you see it, and that is something that the Lions had to work on this week, is put Daniel Harrison on some, put him under some pressure. I don't know how his distribution, he's a young guy. We said he's a freshman. Maybe he's just clearing those balls. He's not really linking up with the midfield on those deep balls so far. And so Sace has done a good job of just running him down and forcing his hand a little bit as you see Jack Smith come out. Cool as a cucumber there, coming in and picking that ball up and trying to tell his defense, hey, let's calm down and let's make sure that we're linking some passes up. I think it'd be really good for the Lions here to have a little sustained possession here as we just hit the 10 minutes left till halftime.
Oh, great play by Owen as he's going to get taken out from behind.
Ooh.
A little bit of some extracurriculars, and I think that's going to –
It looked like he may have made contact with his face, and so that's interesting. You saw Owen lash out a bit, but he was tapped.
He's going to call both of them.
Or touched in the face. It looks like is that Wheatcroft? I believe
yes.
Same guy,
Yeah.
Number 3, Wheatcroft. As Union here, we'll see what we get from maybe just a talking to, which will be interesting when you see kind of hands go at each other's face. You would think maybe you would even see yellow cards to both guys to kind of calm it down. As we see right in front of the gantry here, number 23, Zach Hardman, another player from
Liverpool. Now, I saw that. I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
No, I'm trying to, I had to highlight those. I don't have a ton highlighted on my sheet, but I do highlight the word Liverpool. See a ball played in that doesn't make it past the first defender. It kind of bounces around in the box and is cleared halfway. As you just see, a ball just booted here into the Lions bench, and we may get our next sub here on. I believe the ball has to go out for a Union possession to get that sub.
To get the sub in, yes.
And so we see
good work here by Union to kind of gain possession as the Lions
really good feet there, huh? Ooh, and what a chance as that ball found the foot of Bramble, Josh. I think inside, maybe between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, and he just sailed it. I don't know. From that angle, you would, if he puts that on frame, Jack Smith is going to have to.
That's a tough one.
It's going to be tough on him, and you'll see that I believe Bramble is going to be the guy that's subbed out, and Hardman's in the game. So we'll see what that does to the front because Bramble's pace obviously has been something that we've keyed in on all night. And with him running, and he's latched onto some long balls, he's making those runs back post. He probably needs a good 8-minute breather here to be able to get ready to go in the second half as you see the ball one. And we got a little bit of a soft foul on Marini, but it'll be another set piece here for the Bulldogs, and we'll see what they do. They've played those diagonal balls back post. Most of the time they've been met with a line head, so we'll see how if they try to do anything short, Josh. I could see them maybe changing it up here.
Yeah, probably not, because you just see the center backs start to go forward now. They kind of went up a little late. Normally that's a good cue for a ball going to be played into the box. You see those bigger guys. Normally your center backs are your taller players. As BL will line this up, not a bad ball in, but finds a Lion head first. And it's going to be flipped back in. Mattia's head to it. Another ball whipped into the box, not able to be controlled by the Union defender there, Owen Lewis. And it's going to go back out for a Jack Smith goal kick.
Something to watch, and you mentioned it briefly, is Valverde is getting a lot of whip on those balls. That ball has got some pace on it, man. He is putting some really good balls into the box. And you would think maybe on a set piece where you said those center backs come up, you may get one of those guys latching on, to a header. It seems like his delivery so far has been unreal. So it'll be tough to see, if they get some corners, some balls, it'll be really tough for the Lions to defend those balls as you get a little bit of maybe shouts for handball there, but we're not going to get the whistle. The Lions are able to get the ball back. Beckham Davidson playing a ball in with his left foot, just ahead of, I believe that's, it was
that was Stace. Yeah.
We can hear Coach Shaw here and just speaking on work rate, telling his guys not to forget about the work rate. With 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in this half, you got to think this game's going to be decided probably by a goal. If anybody steps off the gas, steps off the accelerator at all, you're probably going to look at one small lapse in judgment could cost you this game. And so you can hear him really vocal with his guys and making sure that they're continuing to put that shift in and that they're doing a good job with their work rate overall. As you see, a good win of that header there.
Ooh, kind of a
interesting to see him blow it dead unless they were in an offside position when that ball was played. It looked pretty much like it was an advantage, Josh. I thought he was going to play it. It was a 2-on-2.
Kind of break for us there, really.
We're going to get to see, I believe, Valverde on another one. And so this may be from this side. You're going to look at a ball back post potentially.
Yeah, kind of going to have the whip that you would want on it. And the pace that he plays the ball with, you don't have to provide the power on the header. You just got to touch it. As, once again, Beckham Davidson, a lot of balls are finding his head. Jack looking to play quick, kind of slows it down.
He's got Mattia up here in a lot of space.
He's going to go back towards the middle. Callum, for a goal scorer, really works himself back, kind of being involved in the defense too.
Yeah, you're right on that. And I've seen the goals, and I'm going to pull that up here so far. He's 9 games played, 9 games started. He's averaging a goal a game, 9 goals, 2 assists. I know he takes their set pieces. I was reading an article that said he scored a couple penalties, so I know that he may have a little bit higher output due to the fact that he takes those spot kicks. But you're looking at a guy, man, he seems to be their version of potentially a James Mitchell, that he's putting in a shift. He can kind of do a little bit of everything as you see him kind of latch onto a ball there and flick it back post. Great job there for us to get that ball out. We may get a whistle. I agree. I think that was a little bit of a soft. I don't believe that was a foul there. As you got Josh overlapping here, can we get?
Oh, and Mattia is going to commit the foul there. And Mattia is going to pick up a card here.
A little bit of a off the ball there from Mattia, really shooting ourselves in the foot. It looked like we had some numbers there, and we had Josh kind of leaving that midfield as he's kind of been in that 8 role.
Yeah.
And he had overlapped to the left wing to kind of put some pressure on Union because they had their right back here was advanced up the field. And so really shooting ourselves in the foot. May have had a really good chance there as even numbers on that attack. I believe we may even had one more guy in that attack, maybe a 4-on-3 forming there a little bit, but just to foul off the ball. We talked about this game being, you got to be able to keep your head, you got to stay calm, and we've seen both sides a little bit lose that at times. And so, now that Mattia's on a yellow card, he's going to have to really be careful as we see a left-footed in-swinger there.
Oh, good job.
Jack Smith, man, reminds me of I've been playing fantasy football, soccer and football now these days, and I have Justin Jefferson on my team, and that's what that reminds me of, just high pointing the ball, coming out there and making a great, just to claim it.
Looks like we're going to see another yellow card here.
If anybody needs the halftime whistle in this game, it may be the official, Josh. He is starting to really have to work. He's putting in putting a lot of work right now on both teams when you're seeing some stuff off the ball. And we're
Yes.
seeing, I think now that both teams have settled in, it's getting a little more aggressive. You've been out there on the pitch with a guy, you know, a lot of duels in the midfield, a lot of duels on these wings. And interesting to see how it's going to go in the second half, because it looks like we're going to have, I believe, that's our 4th or 5th yellow card already. So we're going to have some subs play big roles in this game, but also we're going to have guys keep their head as we see. Looks like, I believe Beckham is going to take this. See if we can serve a ball in.
Center back staying back, so we're going to look to play this ball down maybe, and it's going to find a Union head.
It was Owen Lewis again. It's the Owen Lewis Beckham Davidson headed clearance show so far.
Yes.
With those two guys owning the back. A little more normal for Owen Lewis as a center back and Beckham as a fullback there. A little bit different for him to be so aerially dominant in this game. But he has started well, as you see a ball half clearance there. Fletcher Clifford off to clear, and we've got another ball.
And finds Owen Lewis's head again. But I think you're right. It would be nice to see these last kind of 3.5 minutes control the ball a little bit, kind of slow the game down.
Right on cue, your commentator's curse you were talking about as we play a long diagonal ball that is kept in.
No,
okay, there
no,
we
it's
go.
not.
I was hopeful.
I thought it was out.
I thought it was out too, but it was rolling our way, Josh. I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to point it out. But now that the whistle has been blown.
Good poke by James Mitchell there to clear it and get Sace on the ball. Can he turn and find? We've got a couple runners here, Josh. He looks like he's
Oh, he's
okay.
gonna
He
take
took
a
a
shot.
shot. Hey, we're testing the keeper. The thing I like about the couple chances that we've had, if we've put them on frame, but we've put them on frame towards the corners of the goal, which means you're at least giving yourself a shot. A lot of things can happen. You know, that ball's going through a lot of defenders there. Good job by Harrison to get onto it. You know, I think he scuffed it a little bit. It wasn't hit as hard as he wanted it.
Yeah.
But it's good that it's on frame, and we're making those guys make saves, which is a big deal.
Because you never know. I mean, if that just ball bounces off of him, you know, a runner into the box, that could be an easy goal there. Whereas if you don't put the ball on frame, the goalie's just going to let that thing go out for a goal kick. As you see, heads up, Nova.
We almost had our first ball up here, Josh.
I have had to knock one away so far this year. That's been it. Shout out to Nova, the cameraman.
Alex Benitez with a throw in, and was pointing back to his keeper. I think both teams are realizing that I think that's absolutely a flop, and that is what it was. He was looking for contact, and Edwards went down really easily there as you see us give the ball away. And Longworth's on it. He does seem, he actually played, we talked about him being left-footed, Josh. He is left-footed.
Yeah, he is. He took that free kick with his left foot.
And so that looks like that's why when he came into the game, he came to this right wing. He probably gives him an option to cut in on the top of that 18, maybe hit some balls across the goalkeeper.
You used to not see that a lot. It used to be if you were a left-footed player, you played on the left side of the pitch. If you were a right-footed player, you played on the right side. Mo Salah, your Liverpool guy, he plays the right wing as a left footer.
Absolutely, and he's lethal too, cutting in across the box. I think you see him. There's been so many highlight reel goals where he cuts in and plays that curled ball into the corner of the net, and I think that's maybe what they're trying to get at there with Longworth coming in on that side. But we're slowly approaching halftime, as 35 seconds and counting. Into what's been a jam-packed first half. I know we don't have a goal, but if you've just seen, there's so many duels, there's so many battles going on, and it seems to me like it's really been pretty 50-50, Josh. I mean, it's been a good match from both teams. As Sace wins a ball there, can we get something in the last minute here? And he just played it a little bit too far behind Hernandez, and now Union may set themselves off as they play a deep ball, and it looks another good job by Fletcher Clifford just to get enough on that ball.
Yeah.
As we're going to go into halftime here. We're going to hear the horn now. And what was a well-played first half from both teams. I think you had a couple good chances, but nothing really, a lot of the game is played in this middle third of the field. The attacking third, the link-up play has not been as good between the teams, but I think it's because the intensity of the game was played at. So we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to hope Drew has grabbed us another Coke, and we're going to be right back with you in a minute. from the Lions Den. But we will see you soon. Enjoy your halftime show, 15 minutes.
as we have about the last 20 seconds here of the halftime as both teams back on the pitch, and we are ready to get going here. An action-packed first half. Hopefully the second half is the same. Jordan, we did not get our refill on Coke, so hopefully you're able to keep your voice.
I've rationed it out here, so I think we're okay. What we did get, though, is a little bit of a dip in temperature.
I had to put the pants on.
We put the sweatpants on.
So.
I started out with them on, so
yeah.
I've been prepared. As the Union Bulldogs will get us started, Callum Edwards, and we'll play a deep ball here. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere as the lines easily clear that, and they'll play a deep ball their own. And Sace, hey, we're back at it here.
back to the Owen Lewis show.
Absolutely.
And Beckham with a clearance himself. So picked up right where we left off. So one thing that's neat, Jordan, I know this is your first time calling a soccer game. Not like I'm an expert or anything, but it gets fun because now we'll see kind of a different side. So we'll see different guys. It kind of changes your perspective as, it'll be fun. I'm kind of, I love watching Mattia play, but it's really fun to watch Beckham too. So now we'll get kind of Beckham on this side, closer to us, as that ball's going to go out.
Well, I can tell you're a veteran there because that's not even something that entered my mind. And you said that, and it kind of clicked halfway through.
Yeah, like you'll see it. You don't realize what some guys are good at until you get to see it up close. Another header there by Beckham.
Well, it looks like Beckham Davidson, whether he's 65, 70 yards away or he's right out here under the gantry, he is good in the air. And we have figured that out. That's what's going to – the first note I made tonight is how good he is in the air, which is so interesting because he's not a huge physical guy. I really have known him always for his pace, but to see how aggressive in the air he's been as you see him kind of nudge off Callum Edwards there. But the ball drops to Valverde, and that's a good ball in. Jack Smith with a
great
good clearance.
Punch.
Absolutely.
As we're going to get a foul here. It looks like – so something interesting here. Bramble does not look like he is on the pitch to start this second half. So it looks like the same 11 that were on for Union Commonwealth staying on the field. Johnny back in, so it looks like the starters for the Lions. I'm trying to glance around and see if I see anybody different in, and I do not. As Mattia is back up after drawing the foul. Always, if I was Coach Davidson, I always get a little nervous. He's top-notch defender.
Well, if my notes are correct, number 4, Costa in the middle of the back line there for Union is on a yellow, and so is 16, Oriel Gasquez Perez. So you've got 2 yellow cards there to worry about, and you also have, I believe, Mattia and Josh for us both have them. So you got 2 apiece. It'll be interesting to see, obviously, if Sace can put some pressure on that back line, especially in those one-on-ones. We've seen what he can do with his skills on the ball. If he could put Costa one-on-one, maybe you get a chance to pick up that second yellow, which would really swing the game as you see a ball played here through the middle of the pitch.
Good play by Morales. And we're going to have a pull down there.
A good job to keep possession as James Mitchell gets on it on this right wing. Look like we got some back post runners. We got some hands up at the back post. He plays it in for Josh. Josh cuts it in with a little bit of a left foot. It was on frame a little high, but, just I think let them know that we're willing to take that shot. That was the first time I feel like we really released a lot of guys forward. So, you think of guys latching onto those longer shots and really trying to put something on frame when you don't have as much support there. But it seemed like we were a little bit more up the pitch. Mattia had overlapped there on the wing, and maybe that's something we see Coach Davidson as we were back off the air there at halftime and heard the lines when they broke out of their huddle, a ton of energy.
Yes.
They were loud. Those guys are fired up. I think if you're a coach in that halftime in a game that's been as evenly played here, you're just telling your guys, hey, we've been the better team. We got to continue to do what we're doing and see if we can get that goal and really put ourselves on top. As you see the press still coming from Sace. He's done a good job of deflecting it. Beckham Davidson's back on it to Josh. Josh with a little step over. What a ball move into the middle. And you got Johnny up. He's played a ball in, and it looks like Sace was just a little bit off the back line.
And one of those things on that long shot, sometimes those guys running wide, Beckham on this side was overlapping as well. It kind of stretches that defense out so you can get the shot off without some of those defenders in there to block it.
You definitely see the Lions have come out a little more aggressive to start this second half. As you get another ball played in, can Sace get there first? He can. Looked like he just lost his footing a little bit. It allowed Costa to get the ball back, and now Union tries to maybe get a little bit of a foothold into the second half because 5 minutes in, they haven't seen much of the ball. Good job by Owen to make them divert that ball back in and not let them down the line. Another great play.
Ooh.
Good job.
If he finds Owen right there, he's wide open. And Sace is going to win the free kick there.
What a job by Sace to feel the contact and to use his body there to shield the ball. As we got to have a little bit of something, maybe if number 10 there, and that was, let me refresh myself, that was Valverde kind of stepping into the line of that ball that we just kicked across. You may see a card on something like that. I feel like that they're impeding play.
Good work right there. So we get a good throw in here. Not sure if the Lions we haven't really seen like a long throw specialist. I know some teams will have that.
Well, it does look like we may have Beckham going all the way across the field.
So that he's probably the guy that can make that long throw. Yeah, because you see is that Fletcher Clifford, I believe, is gonna go up into the box here. Big target in there to try to find. And now he's gonna work himself back.
I know you can't hear it at home, but James Mitchell there with that ball going out in the corner is telling his guys to squeeze up the field, trying to that pressure we've seen that the Lions come out with and kind of have a better foothold in this half. Seems like he is trying to direct that from the front of, hey, we got to keep pressure on them. As you see a couple errant balls as we click up on top of that. It looks like we got to get a foul call there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's going to be a stoppage of play, which means might see a yellow card here.
He's going for the pocket, Josh. You are correct. So you may know this. Who will be on that?
I think we're going to have he's going to call that for diving.
Look,
it looked like
that's a tough one.
It looked like Owen is the one that received the.
It definitely didn't look like a flop.
No,
and
no.
I didn't. We've seen the one earlier that went uncalled on with Callum Edwards going down a little easy. I wouldn't even have categorized that one as him going down too easy. It looked like there was a coming together.
No,
I don't think it was intentional.
Contact. I'm not sure it was a foul, but I don't think it was a dive.
I'm with you. I think that's a little bit of a weak yellow there, especially in a game like this, to pick up a yellow on something. You could just let that go. We could just let the play go.
Like, hey, blow it, give whatever, but.
Looked like Union tried to play a ball over the top, and Edwards just got on it, but he was in an offside position when that was played. You can see him a little frustrated, hands on head, as we've got a Union player in front of the gantry here looking like he's trying to make a sub, so we'll see that soon. It will be Mateos Ribeiro, excuse me. So the next time Union gains possession on a ball out of play, I think we'll see that sub. As you see James Mitchell try to glancing header back, and nothing comes out of it.
Good win of the ball there for Union as they have this in attacking position. Just over the bar there. That was a lethal strike there. You see why he's got 9 goals in 9 games.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, Josh, it's going to make me nervous if we see him cutting in on either his right or left foot inside the 18. That is not something that the Lions defense is going to want to allow him. And you can see Fletcher Clifford there pointing at Beckham Davidson, I think just to tell him, hey, force him outside. Keep him off that right foot. And we've talked about him playing on the left and that in-swinging ball and that curve shot into the corner being probably, I would say, with the way he's been tonight and the 9 goals in 9 games, he's probably bagged a couple goals with that exact move. So interesting to see how maybe we'll get some midfield help to come down on top of that to keep him from being able to kind of turn freely onto the middle of the field. As you'll see a ball cleared back to Jack Smith as he's going to pick that up and see if we can get something going here for the Lions.
It looks like we have swapped Owen and Beckham now, so it looks like Beckham is kind of playing that right wing position, and Owen is kind of back in the fullback spot. So that ball flips over Johnny's head, not able to get back to it.
I think we're going to get a flag, and we did. And they played. It looked like he was about a step off, and you can see what they're trying to do.
It looks like he's going to get a card for shooting that ball after the whistle.
Coach Davidson there just encouraging Josh to be positive in the midfield. And we've seen that out of him in the first half. His ability to pick the ball up and make a quick move back into the middle, kind of to get an attack going. And I think that's what Coach Davidson wants to see. We don't want to have too many negative passes. We've seen Union's forwards here really trying to attack those passing lanes and see if they can kind of get a cheap one, pick one off going back to the goal. And that was definitely the biggest scare of the game for the Lions, is it was probably a yard or so from being –
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, clean through on goal. And what we've said is we've got to stop and play again for Callum Edwards, maybe taking an invertent hand to the face.
Yeah.
And we saw that stop early in the first half is with a ball to the head. So something we've seen is they've played another one quick, and it's not going to be allowed, as the main ref here is going to bring that back here to the midway line.
It's interesting because you've pointed out a couple times. Now Callum's on a yellow. He seems to be involved in a lot of these kind of duels and the extracurricular activities. So it's very interesting to see how things go here, as we're going to get another foul. I think kind of the same thing. I think Johnny took an elbow to the back of the head there. Maybe not as quickly as the first half started, but the second half is – the intensity is just as much there at the start of the second half as the first half.
Well, you've seen a little more fluid play out of the Lions out of this halftime break, and it seems to be that maybe the Bulldogs are going to try to play it a little more choppy. There's some you know, we've mentioned how direct they were and how they've done that this year. Is there a good job by the Lions defense there? I believe that's Johnny to dispossess them there. But you can tell the style differences in this second half as the Lions are trying to be fluid. They play through the middle of the pitch. James Mitchell, obviously, on the ball helps that. But Union being a little more direct, a little more long ball, and that's really even been the case with Bramble out of the game. You know, we thought going in he was going to be a guy to watch. Scored a lot of goals, as we've got Sace on the ball here, and that's definitely got to be a card. We're going to get a stop and play. And Sace, man, his ability to turn. The lines in the middle of the pitch, it's been any player who has turned and really attacking the goal. And we're getting some runners forward. You got to think that the Lions are trying to be a little more attacking-oriented here, and they're doing a good job to start this second half. So we're going to get a free kick here. You got to think James is going to –
No card there, by the way.
No card, okay.
Just a talking to.
And he did stop. He did stop the clock. I saw the X come up for the stoppage
Normally
of
that's
clock.
a good indication of a card is about to be given, but just a firm talking to for Felix there. So I would imagine if Felix commits another foul, no matter how harsh it is, we're going to get ahead on that. Ooh.
Good job by Henderson to come clear that. It looked like the header kind of got knocked down, but it was in a promising position in the 6-yard box, and he was quick off his line there to and anywhere will do at that point. You know how it is, just get rid of that, clear your lines, and let your guys get back into position there. And Henderson's done a good job tonight in being able to, Harrison has done a good job of coming off his line. I think you've seen that with both keepers of just commanding their area.
Oh, good throw there by Beckham.
You're going to get to see Edwards here on the ball. He's got some runners to his right and his left, and he's played that out here to Valverde.
Oh, good ball over the top. Oh, great close down there by Fletcher Clifford, closing that down.
And the Lions dugout is fired up for that one, because that was a good position there for the Bulldogs. And we see what we spoke on. I feel like a broken record here. His pace and his size, man. For his size, he can really run, and he's able just to close down in front of that. I thought they were going to get a clean look at goal, and he steps across, and not only does he block it, but he keeps it in play, and we win a goal kick after that. And now we're going to get to see Jack Smith take a boot here to the middle of the pitch. And there we go again. Owen Lewis a little firm through the back of Hernandez there. But if you're going to kick a deep ball, it does not need to be in the vicinity of Owen Lewis. He has been on fire on these aerial deals.
I don't know if you can kick it in not his area, because he has traveled all over the place to get his head on these. As now we see, again, Beckham back in the right back role, and now Owen up a little bit. It's a nice little chess match we see here.
That's a good job by Union. He really bursted by James right there. I think the angle was tough. Once again, Fletcher Clifford with a clearance right to us in the midfield. We've got a couple runners. We're going to take a deep ball. Union's able to clear that. I think that was cut out for, I believe, was that Owen? It was Owen.
No, that was Costa. Or who it was played to.
Yeah,
it was
played
played
to
to Owen. Yes. Costa with the clearance there for Union.
We got to stop and play, and I'm not really sure what's going on here.
Coach Davidson is being called over. Not exactly sure what's going on here.
I know we've got the headset on, Josh, but I haven't heard anything from, and I'm more to the right side here.
Yeah.
And you're more on the Union dugout side. But it looks like they're just in conversation, but I haven't heard anything crazy. Maybe I need to pull one of these earpieces off here and see if I can get a little bit of an inside scoop of what's going on. But while he talks to Coach Davidson, we're going to get the keeper up here. So he looks like they've moved a couple players forward. We're going to see a long ball definitely in here by Harrison. And we've even got the line. What I can hear a little bit is we've got the line judge trying to explain to the players in the line dugout just maybe about the call in question, which I'm not sure what it was, but it seems like very cordial conversation. There's no tension there. Doesn't seem like anybody was upset. Everybody was very under control. So nothing I don't think that we have to monitor.
And I will say this: it looks like that is Landon Davidson, Coach Davidson's other son. I love him.
Back to those coaches' kids, Josh.
Yes.
That's it.
Ooh. And that's what we're talking about right there. You see that ball. Luckily, Jack's able to get back on it, but putting it on frame is crucial because you never know what can happen at that point. But back to Landon, he is very vocal from the dugout.
He's fiery.
And it's in the greatest way that you would want somebody to be. He's always encouraging. He's the first one. If somebody needs some water, he's throwing it out there halfway down the field for them.
By the way, what a touch there. Sorry to cut you off.
Yes.
What deadened that ball, I mean, almost perfectly there, Owen did, and cut back in. And we've got a little free-flowing play in the attacking third as you see him come all the way from the right wing, almost onto the left half of the field there. And the Lions have got a little sustained possession that I think that ball took a bobble on Josh, and so it kind of bounced up a little higher than we wanted it. We see Edwards trying to make an attacking run here. He's got runners on both sides. He's played a ball through, but that's Fletcher Clifford covering that run from the winger. And that's the one thing we talked about maybe with Union center backs. The pace, is that an issue? Is these center backs have done a good job out on the wing. They've done a great job in covering for those fullbacks that are attacking. So it's going to be interesting to see. I just think the later this game goes, each team probably takes a little more of an aggressive approach. You let some of these guys go up on overlapping runs, so your left back and your right back, and then it becomes a lot of one-on-one defending with these center backs. And that's probably, Josh, for me, what's going to decide this game is the play of those center back pairings going forward in this last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I would be, one goal could win this game. And so literally one misplay, one step in the wrong direction, all those things are going to be crucial as that ball's whipped into Jack.
One thing to watch is while Jack's had the ball, we've had a lot of runners trying to run in off the wing. Owen's done it a couple times. We saw it in the first half. I don't know if that's something that maybe you mentioned to Jack at halftime of going, hey, I've been making that overlapping runs. The one thing Jack does is he has a left foot, man. He can really ping the ball, and he's got some pace on it. I think that if we could release a runner potentially, you get maybe even a chance where he could pick up an assist on a deep long ball. And, back to my Liverpool fandom there, we've got Allison did that a couple years ago at Old Trafford in a huge win, and Mo Salah latched onto it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just wishful thinking on my end as we see a little bit of a missed ball.
Not to one-up you, but I think Anderson has multiple assists.
He does. Listen, he's
probably the best at it.
He probably is. I'm going to lean Allison on shot stopping.
Yeah.
I'll let you have distribution.
Well, in the interest of full disclosure, Allison is my goalie in fantasy.
Okay.
So
well, Allison is also the number one for the Brazil national team. So.
Yes, that is true. Very rare. Anderson has to be the best backup international.
Absolutely.
Goalie
He may be the
world.
second best goalie in the world anyway.
Yeah, there's probably only 3 countries he wouldn't start for. Just Brazil happens to be the one he's from, so.
I'll see that ball bounce out here for a Union throw. It'll be Wheatcroft back on that throw. As he was one of the guys that I thought was on a yellow, but they had that coming together in the first half where they both got talked to, so he did not get a yellow card. I had to strike that from my notes. But he's an aggressive player as well. You see him kind of creeping up here. He's taken all their throw-ins tonight, so that's something to see too.
Yeah, he's even gone to the other side of the pitch to take them, so he must be kind of their long throw guy.
Here's a good job, Stace, initiating that press, and they just clear it again. We've done such a good job at winning back possession due to just the ability of Stace to close down those defenders. As you see a deep ball here, Levi did a great job there to be able to head that clear and really away from danger. As you can see, Union is getting the ball towards Callum Edwards. Everything is, whether it's on the ground, in the air, is heading in that direction. And like we said, with 9 goals in 9 games, I don't think I blame him for that. He seems to be the guy. If it's going to come from Union, it looks like it's going to come through him, either in the creative sense or the one that puts the ball in the back of the net. As you see a misplay there by the Union defense, and Harrison is out doing a good job there to clear that. One of his few clearances that's met a Union player.
This could be good here. Beckham up this right side. Sorry to cut you off there, Jordan.
That's Longworth on a good ball again to Edwards, and Edwards drives to the line this time, but there's the cutback, and they did a great job. You kind of saw that second defender come over to try. They've got to limit him getting back in front of the goal. If you can force him wide, maybe you can deal with a back post runner, or maybe him pulling one back towards the penalty spot, but you cannot let him do it. I think if that's anything from Coach Davidson that he's spoken to them, at least on the player side of the scouting report, is, hey, he's the guy. We've got to make sure we're negating him. If there need to be 2 red shirts around him as consistently as possible.
You know, it's like you kind of see this in baseball a lot. Don't let somebody particular beat you. You know.
That's true. We definitely, I know myself and Coach McCauley and Coach Reinhardt, we meet every week on scouting reports, and there's times where it's like, hey, don't let this guy do it. You know, if we have a chance to pitch around him, if we have a chance to put him on, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same way. It's just in a different sport. It's so fluid here.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to do it a little bit differently as we see. I think there was some contact there, but not called. But Sace is still on the ball.
He's something, isn't he?
He is. And what a back heel just to keep possession there. And he is that guy that he has to be a nightmare to defend.
Yes.
Absolutely. With the way he can move, he's that point guard that you can't keep in front of you. You know, and
he's not the tallest number 9 you'll see. Center forward, but he still finds his way to, even when we try to play it long to him, he has a way to find that ball, even if it's not aerial threats like you see someone who's maybe a little taller do, but he really uses his feet. Nice little back play there by James. It's definitely been a calmer, I think, after that first 5 minutes or so of the second half. It's kind of not slowed down because it's still high intensity, high work rate, but kind of less fouling and kind of more controlled possession here in the second half. So we got a couple subs looking to come in. We got AJ looking to come in and Ivania. So we saw Danya earlier. Now we'll get Vanya. Mattia is able to keep that ball in the corner. Great defensive play there. Johnny steps in front. Now we're driving forward.
You see Josh playing that ball. I think the Lions are doing a good job of trying to retain possession. Commentators curse again. I say that right when we're playing a diagonal ball, but they're doing such a good job of winning these secondary balls. Those balls that are in.
Just a little long there from Beckham.
These 50-50 balls in the middle of the park, Josh, it seems that a red shirt is on the end of every one of those. And that's where you got to think that maybe we get an advantage in the second half as we have a coming together, but Beckham Davidson recovers well. I think we may got a push, and we did. And that's Tyler Wheatcroft again. He's an aggressive defender.
Can Owen get on? Oh. Owen kind of checked up his run thinking that ball was played for Sace. And that's going to be a Bryan throw in here.
We've got a couple
We got
subs.
some subs. They're going to bring these subs in. Bramble coming back in.
Bramble's coming in for number 18, Charlie Markland.
Yeah. So that I don't think is a like-for-like swap. So we'll see what happens here. Bramble gets himself kind of deep here, but
Looks like Sace came off, and I can't see the other. I believe it was Owen. I believe it was 22, Owen Morales.
Yeah, because it looks like AJ is going to play kind of this right wing position, and Vanya is going to be more the central striker here.
Vanya cut from a little bit of the same cloth with Fletcher Clifford, a big guy, big physical guy. He's got some pace. He's definitely aggressive there. I think if we maybe play a little more direct here with him, or he latches on maybe to some set pieces, he's definitely going to be a little bit of a different, like you said, Sace is not the biggest guy, so it's a very different profile for those central defenders here to be able to deal with a guy that has the pace but also the size. He's probably going to be a little bit better in the air, probably a little less one-on-one with his ability to dribble, as you see Union Bramble back in on the action, and I believe we knocked that by for a corner.
Yeah.
We're going to get our first chance, I would assume, for BL Valverde to come. And it's not. We're going to go the left-footed Harrison, Longworth. The left-footed Longworth going to come in as he played a couple quality balls here in the first half. We'll see what he's got here, looking like that in-swinger, Josh.
Yeah.
It's probably going to test Jack Smith.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see here. They're going to try to whip this ball in. If he plays it like he did his free kick, it's going to have some pace to it. As he does. Ooh, Wheatcroft.
Jack came for it, and I think he may have got a piece. Regardless, he definitely threw off the ability for them to head it.
If he didn't get a touch on it, he did enough to kind of throw Wheatcroft off to where it kind of skidded off the top of his head instead of able to really get some power on that.
Our ref definitely saw a touch. So we're going to say that Jack Smith was able to deflect that ball, as we're going to see a long throw in here from Union back into the box. Looked like it slipped out of his hand, not quite as good as the other ones, but still into a promising position. And we've got an attempted overhead kick that is cleared by Fletcher Clifford, only as far as the midfield line, for them to throw a ball back in. And I would have assumed we were going to see an offside flag there.
Yeah, he kind of stopped his run there, which kind of, I think, made the assistant referee just say, hey, let's just play.
Two good touches there by Bryan, and we're back on the front foot. They're playing advantage here, and I see it. Yep, we're going to blow it dead. There was a couple fouls in a row there. You think it's probably a little far here for us to be able to really throw a ball in with a lot of pace.
Yeah, I don't see, well.
We're going to get James over the ball here.
Yeah, and it looks like Alex is going to come up. Beckham's going to come up. But we also have Anya in there already, kind of playing that number 9, another big target. So we'll see what happens here. It's a good whip ball, but I'm going to give the fans at home one guess as to which Union head was able to find that one first.
Here's Mattia here, and you can hear Coach Davidson saying no foul, as we know that both on a yellow here. That's a good touch, a really good touch. And I think we'll get a foul there. Not enough in it for a yellow.
Uh-oh.
And I believe we are going to get a yellow, but it's on Beckham for kicking the ball away after it was blown dead for the foul. So
I have given you an official warning.
So we've given the assistant referee down here has given Coach Davidson an official warning, and I believe the main ref is going to come over and show the yellow card. Coach Davidson is protesting that he was speaking to his bench. But nevertheless, we've got a couple, they're keeping it in the family there, Josh, with a couple yellow cards for the Davidson clan.
Yeah.
I'm going to mark those down, so we will see that for Beckham and for Coach Davidson. And now we're starting to see in the last 20 minutes of this game, it's going to get a little chippy, I think, from all areas, on the pitch, in the dugouts. And that's going to be, I think, hopefully good for the Lions. We got an older team. If we have looked at this Union, if we see a ball really whipped, that's a good job. And we've got nothing. And they've, what did we look like? We had an attempted clearance, Josh, and I believe they're going to give that a yellow card for simulation. Did he try to act like he got hit? Maybe he got hit. I couldn't tell.
No, I don't think there was any simulation. He called the foul on Union.
Okay, there we go.
And then,
well, the Union Commonwealth bench here is appealing for the penalty. I don't think there was anything in it.
well, my question is if you blow the whistle for a guy down, how is he able to get up and stay on the pitch?
Absolutely.
That's my only
Or without
thing.
a card for going down, you know.
Yeah, so because I think it was a clean restart. So the referee obviously stopped the play for an injured player. But he pops up and runs right off. He should have to come off the pitch, if not for a second.
We've got a coming back over, so we've got a blown dead again.
I think the last Davidson is going to get booked.
As the ref asked him if he wants to change the color of that card. And so we have officially booked the whole well, you know, I will say that
is Tracy here?
Tracy is here. I spoke to her pregame, so she does not have a card. She is holding it down. I think the only Davidson at the Lions Den without a card tonight. And we're going to hopefully get back to more of the game here, as it's been real choppy lately with stoppages. As you get a ball played from Beckham Davidson down into the corner, what a job right there! I believe Wheatcroft
that was
again
Wheatcroft.
To really dispossess and did it beautifully. And you'll see Levi Miller just play that out here. Callum Edwards going to be on the throw. We're going to see. He played it back. Okay, we're going to get Wheatcroft again on the throw.
Yeah.
So he's doing all kinds of things up here.
Yes.
As Union just kind of pings the ball in there to nobody. There were no attackers there. I don't know if that was anything more than just a reset.
Yeah.
We've had a frantic couple minutes. We'll see who kind of settles back in. You got to get those nerves back down and get back to keep the main thing, Josh. We've got to do a good job to see if we can, number one, keep this clean sheet, but give ourselves a couple chances to score as you see a ball.
I think the referee's going to have a quick whistle here these next few minutes. I think in his mind, he feels like maybe, you know, he needs to assert his dominance, which is what a good referee controls the game. So we'll see kind of how this goes over the next few minutes.
And I think I'm good with that as long as we don't want a soft yellow for a second yellow.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to throw as we get a ball played in really quickly. Again to Edwards, good job by Jack Smith to come out of the 18
and he's able
clear
to keep
that.
that in play too. That's the more impressive part to me, because a lot of times you see a keeper run out like that. They're just booting that thing halfway up the hill. But no, he was able to keep that in, give us a chance, and now we win the throw-in as Mattia is going to take it. Not able to link up there, trying the 1-2.
Good job,
Good header
Mattia.
from Mattia.
Absolutely. It's a good driving run from the midfield there to Union. They're going to get back to Longworth, who's going to play a ball to the overlapping Wheatcroft. And look, we've seen him do a lot in defense.
He does a lot.
And his pace is good. I wonder how he is on the ball. We haven't had to see service from him, but it looks like he has been released by Coach Shaw to kind of push more up this left side here and see if he can actually make something happen, as we're going to get another Union Commonwealth corner here. And you may be able to tell, I'm going to just guess Valverde. I don't have a great.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like 10 on the front of his shirt.
And we're going to see one of those in-swingers, and the line defense is going to have to deal with this one. They got to be first to this ball.
Yeah. Wheatcroft with the goal.
Oh, my goodness, and it was a wonderful ball from Valverde to the front post, and he came – it looked like from the penalty spot, Josh,
yeah,
but he
was
overlapped. He was open. He was
in
wide
between
open.
the penalty and the top of the box to start, kind of right in the middle.
and you can hear Coach Shaw telling his guys to focus, focus. He's pointing to his head, and this is when it's going to be interesting to see, because that was the first, obviously the first goal of the game is going to put the lines a little bit more aggressive. They're going to have to be, and so we'll see how Union chooses to defend, but more importantly, maybe how they choose to counterattack.
Yeah.
Is Callum Edwards going to continue to push up top? Will he be a guy that they play to and try to look for long balls on the wings? But you got to think Union's going to have a few more chances depending on when Coach Davidson decides we have to start really releasing these boys up the field. And it's frustrating to see on that corner. They had, Union had a couple chances, but we knew, and you said it, I think after the first ball we saw from Valverde, that in-swinging ball with the pace he had would give us some trouble. And I don't know that you could draw it up any better to the front post, as you see a good job by Levi Miller sliding across there to clear that ball.
And like we said, just a momentary, one moment, a quick, 2 seconds off the clock from that corner to the head, and now it's 1-0.
Yep.
16 minutes left, still plenty of time.
That's one thing I forget, and I'm getting some text from the guys at home of give me a clock update. So I forget we don't have the running clock.
Is the running clock not working on the live stream, I'm guessing? So we'll try to keep you updated here.
We got Wheatcroft back with a throw into Bramble. Looks like he turns towards the end line there. He's probably playing for a corner as he goes down there, and he's getting really triple teamed, and somehow the ball gets pushed back out. Good job by Fletcher Clifford to clear that. Excuse me, that was Levi. I actually agree with Coach Shaw there. I'm not sure that was a foul. It looked like Bramble came across and won the ball. I'm not complaining, but the Lions have really got to see if we can get some sustained possession here and kind of get the flow back in this game. As we see a deep ball played, we got a couple runners. It looks like a pretty good ball. They're going to a sliding clearance, but he's kind of missed it, and we're going to get a ball flung in back post here. Ooh. And a really good job there by Dan Harrison. I feel like I'm a broken record saying that he has done a good job of balls in the air.
As you see now, what Union's going to try to do, basically every time they can, they are going to try to milk as much time off of this clock as we get it. 14 and a half minutes left here. That ball's going to pop up. Beckham Davidson's going to find it. It's going to be settled. Worked out AJ here on this outside. Oh, good little step in. Oh, and then we got a kick. That quick whistle there. AJ's looking around. We're not really going to have anything.
And that was Longworth. And, he didn't start the game, Josh, but he came in about 20 minutes left in the first half, and he made enough of an impression on Coach Shaw that he started this second half, and he's really been at the center of anything there in the midfield.
Has played a couple really good balls on set pieces.
It looked like just a little coming together after Wheatcroft cleared it, but he felt the pressure, just like we were saying Sace had done earlier. Did a good job to kind of feel that body on his back and go down and win that ball. And that's really what you're looking for Union right now, is you can keep it as choppy as you like. You're trying to make sure that you can keep a little bit of the ball, but more than anything is if they can keep the lines off the ball, it's going to really be tough for us, because you got to think Sace probably makes an appearance back in, and right as I say that, I see him walking up. His ability to counterattack by himself with his speed is a big deal, and he's in front of us here to check back in on the next dead ball.
It'll be interesting to see who he's coming in for here. What's Coach Davidson going to do? Is he going to keep AJ on the outside, or is Sace going to go to the outside and keep Vanya there in the middle? A lot of ticky-tack of football there from Union. No, you're right. Longworth has really had an impact on this game, not starting. So we're going to get another stoppage in play here. I think that's the first kind of time-wasting warning.
Ooh, as we see a ball that's the first one Jack really hasn't dealt with, and Callum Edwards is just finding himself all around the play there in the box. He almost got on the end of that, and that would have been a heartbreaker for the Lions, completely out of nothing for Union. As we see the sub, Sace is going to come in and take his spot back up top.
Yeah.
And while we got a break in the action, I know this is Drew's thing to do, but we just want to mention how good El Toro is and how much we appreciate them being the sponsor for our broadcast, whether it's cheese dip, it's quesadillas. For me, it's Texas fajita nachos. Whatever you need, absolutely. I don't know that I've had anything bad there. Drew said that last week on air. I believe him.
Yeah.
And I ate there this week. My kids love it. So, anytime that we open it up for vote in my house, both my kids are usually very big fans of El Toro. So I will probably be back again towards the weekend, especially with volleyball on the road.
Yeah.
I will, may take my kids out again as we've got homecoming this weekend.
Not to mention big weekend here, homecoming coming up. I'm really excited. My first homecoming here. Hopefully Jordan will kind of show me the ropes a little bit. I think we're going to be back on the call possibly for Saturday. I know Jordan's got a lot to deal with. He's got 2 kids and his wife. Our head volleyball coach is on the road.
We're going to do everything we can to make it happen. I'm really enjoying myself and we'll be enjoying myself a lot more if the Lions can get an equalizer here. As you see James play a volley, one touched over the top.
And Wheatcroft with a nice little touch away there.
That's a good job but a really good job by Bramble. Edwards is upset because he felt like the ball was played over the wrong side of him. And that's one thing you get with a goal scorer like him, Josh. I think it's, sometimes they can be a little bit impatient. They can be a little bit crass, I would say, to work with.
I think for American sports fans, they're kind of like wide receivers in football. Like you kind of see them, if they're not getting the passes thrown their way, they're throwing the tantrums on the sidelines.
It's a negative word, but, we would say diva. We would say diva. I think we're on the same page there.
I was trying not to say it.
Well, I'll go ahead and go there.
But I was thinking it.
I understand with Edwards, man, with a guy with his output, you want the ball. And he's definitely shown not only does he want the ball, but it's warranted. He puts the ball in the net. So, he's trying to latch on to something, and especially with the Lions being a little more aggressive here to push guys forward, he probably likes himself to be able to get on.
And that ball looks like he's going to find it.
And it was Edwards, wasn't it?
Yep, it was. He's celebrating it. I didn't quite get a good view, but the ball did end up in the back of the net.
It looked like Bramble beat us there on the end line, and I think what we have said, he just threw it in a spot in the middle, and it looked like it was either deflected by one of our defenders or maybe Jack got a touch to it, but it fell kindly for Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
And some may call that luck, but with a guy with his scoring prowess, it looked like he just latched on. He was in the right place at the right time and was able to. I don't even know that he got a clean hit, Josh.
No.
I think it looked like it kind of rolled in the net, but that will do for Union. They're not too upset about that one. And the Lions have it cut out for them now with 10-19 on the clock. We're going to need 2 goals to get that equalizer and get ourselves back in this game. And so maybe we see some subs. I can see Coach Davidson telling our guys some new instructions is what he wants. And we're going to see a sub here for Union as Callum Edwards is going to come off. And he has put in quite a shift. Zach Hardman, who came on in the first half, is back in the game. So we see probably a little bit more of a defensive. You're going to sure it up if you're at the back here for Union. As we get a warning here from the referee to the Union bench, I think I can hear Coach Shaw telling his players to zip it. So it must have just been maybe a little bit of chirping off the ball as the Lions play a deep ball here. And Sace is pushed off the ball, but one back by James Mitchell, and we've got to get something going here. And you see the header into the middle of the Union defense.
Uh-oh. Did you kind of hear the coach here? I don't know if you guys can hear the coach, but he's definitely wanting his guys to clear the ball.
Yeah, he definitely not wanting that tiki-taka you mentioned earlier, Josh. There's a time for that, and it is not right now. Union just wants to clear it, and they can't have any costly turnovers because a goal gets the Lions right back in this thing.
Yeah, 9.5 minutes. If you can get a goal here, There's still plenty of time.
We got maybe an inadvertent elbow or
Yeah, hand to the face.
as a ball played in. And that was AJ that went down, I believe, correct? That was hooked here in the
yes.
It looked like there was some contact. I don't think it was intentional.
No.
And the referee definitely didn't see it that way. As we've got another corner for the Union Commonwealth Bulldogs, and that is probably more than anything a chance for them to burn 30 or 40 seconds.
Yeah, you take your time here, kind of play the clock, see how much can tick off.
See him how many times he can set the ball down there in the corner, Josh.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to get on with it, but you're looking at a good 25, 30 seconds as the ball's played back in. They go near post again, but it's flicked on this time. And that's really been the difference so far is those corners for Union have been absolutely lethal. And every one of them looks like they can score as we see the ball bouncing around in the middle. And, there's that left foot.
Yes.
And we have said that. Longworth, again, you could see it kind of fell to his right side, and he let it take a bounce, Josh. He was absolutely going for power with that left foot, and he got a good contact there. It just happened to sail over the bar, and we're back in that area inside the 18 that if that tests Jack Smith, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. It looks like Alex Fletcher Clifford down as he's getting himself back up now.
Looks like maybe he took
– I think he took an elbow or something, kind of jumping in those aerial battles.
He seems to be okay to continue. You can see him motioning there that he thinks he took an elbow. And you see that a lot on those aerial duels, like you said. Guys are vying for position. Some elbows and will get high at times. A lot of inadvertent contact there as Jack Smith's going to boot one back into the center of the pitch here. And a Union clearance. That's going to be a line throw right in front of the dugout. And we've got 8 minutes, 10 seconds left. You see the quick throw, and Wheatcroft on it again.
Good clearance by Wheatcroft. But the Lions find themselves back on the ball here as Mattia has it.
Got a little push there. Yeah, we're going to call it. I think it's so wide it may be tough here, but you got to think, we're going to see some center backs creep up.
Yeah.
It's last chance saloon a little bit for the Lions. We've got having to get 2 goals is going to be a big deal, as you see our aerial dominant players in as Mitchell plays this in back post. That's a good ball. And once again, Harrison comes for the catch, and he's going to pull a little bit of a Jordan Pickford there. He's going down. He's going to take his time. I would say we see, a 1 card, for time wasting at some point here.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see one in the women's game, and we never got one. I even did the countdown. She held the ball for 20 seconds one time. So,
as we let a ball,
that's not
some
a good
miscommunication
clear on right there. And it's going to result in the 3rd goal for Union Commonwealth.
And it started, Josh, with some miscommunication at the back. It looked like with Levi and Alex, it looks like maybe one of them thought that the other one was going to get it, so he had slowed up, and Union, again, was able to get onto that ball. And it's Longworth. And you know what? You see out of Longworth there, a really unselfish play. He could have easily took the shot, and he chose to lay it back off. And I'm not sure who even got that goal.
I think it was Hardman, Zach Hardman.
So it was just the sub.
One of your Liverpool natives.
Yeah, it was. It was 23. You are correct. So Hardman got that goal. And that's going to put this one to a 3-0 lead for the Union Commonwealth Bulldogs with 7 minutes remaining. So the Lions are definitely up against it. You're going to have to get a goal quickly here. And you could see it a couple different ways. I think that the Lions will go for it. It's kind of what they've shown this year, that they don't have much.
Give up.
They don't much have to quit, Josh.
And then, one thing you kind of spoke on this earlier is the more you attack forward, the more vulnerable you leave yourself on the back end.
It's what you can see the mark of a good team with Union is they weren't content with that 1-0 lead. They've been able to stay pretty shored up at the back, but also to have guys continue to kind of come forward. Those midfield runners, they're having a guy win the ball, and then they're playing a ball back to a midfield runner, and it's just giving us some trouble because, like you said, we're defending with just a lot of two center halves. Our Mattia's up,
Yeah,
And
Beckham and Owen, whoever's kind of in that right back spot, they're trying to fly up.
And you'll see it here even with this kick from Josh with 6 minutes remaining on the clock. Or excuse me, with
Jack,
Jack. We're going to have some guys push back up.
We've got about 5:45 left in this game. Owen Lewis has probably had 20 headers.
He has,
tonight.
man. He is. I'll tell you, if we're doing a man of the match, they've got a couple guys. I mean, it's probably him or Wheatcroft. They have both been unreal at the back. It's a big reason that the Lions haven't been able to put a ball in the back of the net, as those two guys have been just absolutely dominant in the air, stopping things on the wing. As you see a ball played into Bramble, he's not able to get on top of, but those fresh legs where he didn't start the second half, you're seeing his pace here as he is just absolutely putting pressure on the lines as the ball was played into James Mitchell and he wasn't able to control it. It's back to the line, back to the Bulldogs, and you see it again, just a deep ball. They're going to try to do anything they can to just clear their lines, and there's another ball into Bramble. He's in a good position as he cuts in on that right foot. Good save by Smith. And it is open as open can be,
Yes.
Josh.
Back and forth, back and forth. We've got about 4.5 minutes left as Wheatcroft gets his head to that one.
Wheatcroft again just comes, that's a 20, 30-yard sprint on a diagonal ball. He wins the header and then is able to knock the ball out off the Lions and win another throw. And, of course, he takes the throw. So we're going to see a sub here. James Mitchell is going to come off for Landon Davidson. Something to remember, Landon Davidson is, I believe, was he on a yellow?
He is on a yellow.
So he is on a yellow, so we'll see that. He, like we said, he plays the coach's son. He's going to play very aggressive, knows the game in the middle of the park, does a great job.
He's going to be very vocal, too. I don't think his vocality is going to change from the fact that he's gone from the dugout to the pitch.
As you can even hear Coach Shaw telling Wheatcroft to hold the ball, and then he follows that up with "Don't get a red card."
Yeah, because he's already on a yellow. Is he?
There was one early in the game that I couldn't tell if it was Perez or Wheatcroft.
Okay.
But I know Wheatcroft was in on that coming together where he didn't. They got a talking to, but no card. So that's a good closing down by Beckham Davidson, and Sace tries to put some pressure on him as Union plays another long ball to an offside. It's going to be an offside, but you can see that's what they're doing, and they have done a good job of pinging it deep and getting on to the end of those, knowing that the Lions are going to be vulnerable at the back with what they're attacking forward. So we're going to see Mattia play a ball that doesn't really get off the ground, but the Lions are able to win it and play that out on the left flank there.
Come up on about 2.5 minutes left is kind of this game is kind of slowed down in the last 2 minutes compared to what we saw for a little while. And just as I say that, it's back wide open. As we're going to see.
I believe
Mateus,
Ribeiro.
Yeah, Brazilian, so I believe it's pronounced Ribeiro.
And listen,
so it's like that H.
You hear the veteran commentary of Josh Muncy, folks.
Yeah.
They don't teach us the Brazilian, as we have a hard foul there, and I think we're going to see a card. And we had to. That was Wheatcroft, and to be honest with you, that's probably the first thing he's done, the first foot he has put wrong in this game.
Yes.
And looks like Landon Davidson was on the end of that one.
End of that one, yeah.
He seems to be okay, and he's up. He's a tough guy, and he's back on his feet. As we got to stop in the clock at 1:56 remaining. So anything here, Josh, if the Lions were to get back in this, would be one of the most ridiculous endings to a game that we've ever seen, as it's played deep onto the head there of Owen Lewis. And it looks like it just, like you said, that first goal, I think we were still in it, and that second one took a lot of the sting out of the game. It's just hard to be able to overcome that, especially with the shifts that our guys put in early in that game, you tend to drop your head a bit on that second one. And then once the third one goes in, it's just, it's pretty much done and dusted at that point.
Davidson to Davidson here. Plays ball's popped up. Levi able to knock it down. Johnny flips it back to Beckham. Now Mattia on the outside. Brings it back into the middle to Owen. He's going to drive.
Looked like he was setting up a shot there,
Yeah.
Josh. I think,
I think he was getting that ball out in front of him to release one there.
Touch let him down just a bit.
Yeah.
As Bramble applies the pressure to Davidson. That's an we got 45 seconds left here in this game. The Lions play it. Maybe we get a ball crossed in here. Owen's on it, and he plays the ball across.
Ooh, couple
like it got deflected.
there.
It's going to be a corner for the Lions, which is this the first corner of the game that we've had?
I think so.
You can hear Coach Shaw urging his guys on and asking them if they want the clean sheet.
25 seconds. We got the goalkeeper coming up. It's played in before he can get there.
As he just clears it deep, and looked like Jack is in a race with an outfield player. He's going to win that one, but I think he had a head start, or that would have been a lot of a different ending there. As we've got 5 seconds left, you're going to see
great play by Mattia.
You're going to see the clock come to zeros, Josh, and Union with a decisive 3-0 victory here at the Lions Den.
Yeah.
And I think the scoreline is a little bit. I would say it's indicative of the way the game was played. And look, we've got a little bit of extracurricular afterwards. I believe it was on that foul there in the box with about a minute and a half remaining.
Yeah, you see some blood on Landon Davidson's leg.
I think he took, and you see Wheatcroft coming across. They're talking through it, and they shook hands. You see some good sportsmanship there between the teams. As it was a little bit of an aggressive foul. But they're not. They're laughing together now, which is good. But what I was saying before that is you saw the 3-0 victory for Union. I don't believe that was indicative of the way the game was played.
No, that was not a 3-0 difference in teams.
I guess the talking point going forward here is how do the Lions, this is the first time they've dropped an AAC match, so what does it look like for us going forward? And if we know anything about Coach Davidson and his team, is they're going to be ready to go here for homecoming. It'll be a great crowd this Saturday, and we do have a favorable schedule remaining. I know we've talked that we've played a lot of the top half of the league, and we're 6-1-1, I believe now, updated. And so I think the guys will be obviously upset, but Coach Davidson will do his job and get these guys back ready to go. And what it means for Union going forward is what a big win. We talked about where they haven't been tested on the road yet, and they definitely have been at this point. And they came in here tonight, and they probably eased a little bit of those fears across the league of, man, they're done a good job. This is not an easy place to play.
No.
In the 16 years I've been here, it's hard to come in here and win games, and to do it to keep a clean sheet and to win 3-0. And it was a good game.
So for everyone here at Bryan, including myself, Jordan, Jeremy Deal, Camille Hawley, Chase Green, Drew, Nova, thank you for tuning in, and we will be back on the call Saturday. And thank you to our sponsor, El Toro. But this has been the Lions Network, signing off.